Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Welcome to hour number 3 of the Line Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com, Andrew Mclain, who.com, and the Talk 99.5 app. The application. It's on your phone. It's on your application store, on your Google Play or your iPhone store thing, whatever it's called. It's not called iTunes. It's called App Store. I came across this days. I got a bunch of cat videos these days. I don't know if I guess my algorithm is now convinced that I'm just a cat meme person, which I'm fine with because some of them are really funny. Like there's this one, and first of all, I got to show you the look on this cat's face for those of you watching on YouTube. You see his face? And it's basically the cat talking to itself, right? He's he's asking himself, he goes, "Do I have the diarrhea parasite?" And he kind of looks around, he goes, "How much diarrhea is the diarrhea parasite?" Dang it. Do I have the diarrhea parasite? And the reason that's so funny is because every time I have diarrhea, I ask the same question. Do I have the diarrhea parasite? How many people in the audience have asked themselves that? And I don't know the answer. How much diarrhea is the diarrhea parasite?
Wow, not me, obviously.
Are you?
I don't ask.
Do you still have diarrhea?
No, but if I did, I would just, crop it up to good old IBS, make it another visit.
God, man, it'd be like double whammy for you.
Not really.
Yeah, it'd be like the diarrhea parasite mixed with IBS. You'd be hitting the ceiling. You'd be launching like, those people that are out on the lake and they've got those hover jets that's hooked to the hose. They come up off the water and they like fly around. That would be you.
Yes, that would be, I guess, but
Rocket Man. Rocket Man.
Yeah, I don't think I have it. Do I have that?
Do I have the diarrhea parasite? It's just funny the way his voice is too when he says it. Do I have the diarrhea parasite? And it's just music. It's just music playing in the background. I can't do it. Hold on.
Do I have the diarrhea parasite? How much diarrhea is the diarrhea parasite? Dang it. Do I have the diarrhea parasite?
That's funny.
So anyway, that's what I'm asking myself every day. That's what I'm asking myself. Clarissa says, TikTok said you poop 43 times in 3 hours and you could poop through a screen door is how you know you have it. 43 times in 3 hours is a lot.
That would kill you. I mean, you would have to be drinking water or have an IV. I mean, that's a lot of liquid coming out of your body.
That's a lot. And I mean, what constitutes as one poop when you have diarrhea? I mean, can we be honest that, like, how do you even count it?
Yeah, I mean, is it when if you do a flush, is that official?
So, I mean, sometimes it'll be like,
how much time in between?
Yeah, because, I mean, sometimes it'll go in spurts. It'll be like, turning the faucet off and on.
Mm-hmm.
So does every faucet off and then back on count as one? So it's like,
I think it's subjective.
One,
I don't. Yeah.
Two.
I think it's subjective. It's up to each individual.
Yeah, but if you're trying to scientifically find out if you have the diarrhea parasite,
I guess you'd have to poll 10,000 people and see.
Now, if you look at the map of reported cases of the diarrhea parasite, Alabama is not listed as one of the states.
Well, that's good.
Well, no, maybe we're just too embarrassed, or hell, maybe we're too confused about what, is this regular diarrhea or is it the diarrhea parasite? Do I spend $500 to go to the hospital and the ER to find out if I have the diarrhea parasite, or do I just continue to itch my brains out?
Well, are there states surrounding us that have it?
Oh, yeah, everybody.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I think Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. I don't know if Mississippi's got it yet.
Sounds like just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, I guess you just count the squirts, man. Just,
Do I have the diarrhea parasite?
Dang it. Anyway, listen, this is newsworthy, by the way, for those of you that are like, oh, where's Andrew? Is there not any news today?
Well, you know what, though? I mean, it's been a while since we've had the, poopy talk.
Yeah, I know. It's been like 3 or 4 days. So, the diarrhea parasite is a news headline. So, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of
Very
how
newsy.
you guys can. I mean, is there a PCR test, like a COVID test, you can just kind of poop on and it's like a pregnancy test?
Who's going to hold the stick or whatever?
You got to hold it yourself.
I'll just deal with 43 poops in 3 hours.
You put the stick underneath you and you just let it rip and you pull your hand back out. You look like you did.
Oh, my gosh.
Chocolate fondue.
Oh, man, come on. Come on, let's not do that anymore. I think that's bad.
Right at lunchtime, too. Sorry, guys. I'm done.
You sure?
I'm sure. Well, I just, again, it's, no, okay. I won't do it.
We got a safety dance that one.
I won't do it. That's enough. All because of that cat. If it wasn't for that cat and that meme, I would have never even brought the parasite up. But I ain't the only one wondering. And y'all know good and damn well, y'all thought about it too. Alabama Men's Clinic. Speaking of your health, let's talk about the men's clinic. Alabama Men's Clinic is where it's at. You need to set you up an appointment, guys. I'm telling you, this is a game changer. I'm not even exaggerating about this. First of all, love the guys up there. But second of all, I didn't realize how much of how little you were living your life. And I know that sounds dramatic, but there are so many of us out there, and I was in this camp as well, where you're struggling every day, and you're just assuming that's how life is. You're tired all the time. You struggle in the mornings. You don't sleep well. You just do what you have to do to get by, and you just chalk it up as getting older, when in reality, the cause of it could be the fact that you got low testosterone. You don't have to have the obvious signs like ED or, whatever it is, although that can be part of it. It can just be the fact that you just don't feel like yourself. You feel like age is catching up with you. Now, how nice would it be if you're able to get older but still feel like you're in your 20s, maybe even your early 30s? Wouldn't that be nice? Well, guess what? There's plenty of men out there living that very thing, and it's all because they got their testosterone levels not just leveled out, but got them to an elevated level, which is allowing you to live life at peak efficiency. I'm telling you right now, I'm not even joking. I have been on the T treatments for a very 3 weeks, maybe. I may not even be at the 3 week mark. I think I am. I think I'm at the 3 week mark. And they told me, hey, it's going to take a few weeks before it's going to work its way into your system. but I'm already telling a difference, especially in the mornings when I get up. I don't drag near as bad as I once did, and I've got energy that I feel like I hadn't had in a very long time. So here's what I want you to do. I just want you for now for starters. I just want you to get tested and see where your testosterone level is because you would have if you would have asked me, I would have put down $500 on the fact that I didn't have low testosterone. I'm like, nah, of course I know, but I'm gonna go get tested anyway. Turns out I did, and I was shocked by it. And that may be the case for you too, man. I mean, when it comes to the food, the processed food, and all the other crap that we consume on a regular basis, it interacts with your body in that way and kills your testosterone, may raise your estrogen and stuff like that. And I mean, it even happens in young guys in their 20s. So don't hesitate. Don't sleep on this. I want you to get tested. Let them find out your T levels, and then see what they got for you, man. They'll come up with a plan specifically for you and your situation, and you'll be living your best life. So here's the phone number. Call them, ask them any question you got, and they'll get you covered. 205 598 7000. That's 205 598 7000. And get all that info and book your appointment online, alabamamensclinic.com. Love this song. This band's from Knoxville, Tennessee, by the way.
It's good stuff.
Remember that show I told you I saw Breaking Benjamin at B&A Warehouse?
Yeah.
This was one of the bands that opened for them.
Oh, like them.
Yeah. 10 Years is the name. 10 years.
Maybe that's how long they've been together or been trying to make it.
Maybe. I don't know. My Aunt Julie texted in. She said, I'm having flashbacks of when you were 12. You sound just like you did when you were 12 talking about all this poop. So this must have been a thing for a long time. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I mean, for guys, it's like poop's funny, you know? But I'm legitimately concerned about the diarrhea parasite. Kenny says, you think you're done, but it's diarrhea. Wanda says, poop boys TMI. Wanda says, I used to carry you to lunch daily. Those days are over. Well, I've never seen you take me to lunch. Are you paying for it as well? Bubba Rumble, mud butt is an ongoing topic of concern in the Hey Now Nation. Let's see. Tony says, just be thankful, guys. You're not full of ish. Jeremy says, just don't eat any fruit or vegetables that you cannot peel and you won't get the explosive diarrhea. Is that the guidelines on that? I thought it was like green stuff, like certain lettuce and.
No, well, I mean, with IBS, it's a whole nother level. There's a whole diet you're supposed to avoid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's whatever. You either got it or you don't. I mean, it's part of life, man. Sometimes you get an old parasite. You'll get a diarrhea parasite. So several things. I'm kind of going back over some of the comments that were made by Trump during that White House the Oval Office meeting with the Iranian Prime Minister. He said when I was mentioning the 20% fee on the Strait of Hormuz, here was his actual quote from that. He said, I was called by different people, different countries, kings and emirs, and all of the people that we all love, and they said we'd love to do it a different way. We'd love to invest in the United States with billions as opposed to charging a fee. And I like that, actually, because I don't think anybody should be able to charge a fee for the Strait. And he's kind of had that stance all along. And I betcha that he knew that was going to happen. And instead of proposing it himself, he said, let me do a fee, knowing that he was going to get a phone call and they're going to be like, well, we know you really like lots of investments, because you can't force a country to invest in your country. They say, hey, we know you like when we invest in your country, so can we dump billions and billions of more dollars into the U.S.? And he said, okay.
That's the businessman in Trump.
Yeah, man.
Smart.
He's on it. He is on it. Also, he teased a very big announcement that he'll be making to the nation on Thursday night. He called it really, really big news. And he added that the announcement's going to address what he described as a critical issue for the country, saying, quote, without free and fair elections, you don't have a country. So what is expected here is that he is going to, and it hasn't been announced, so don't take my word on it, but this is what I am kind of taking from it. He's going to announce evidence of foreign interference in the 2020 election, and that he's going to be there with his top guys from the DOJ, Kash Patel, and probably Pete Hegseth and other cabinet members to say to the nation, hey, this is a real threat that we've been dealing with for a very long time, and if we don't shape up, then something bad is going to happen. Interesting timing, by the way, because we are down to the wire on whether or not the Save America Act would be relevant to the midterms. There are people that make the argument that even if you passed it today, that the Save America Act could not be implemented in time. I don't think that's true. I think you could, but you've only got so much time before it won't be able to be implemented. It's got to be done anyway. So if you can get it in for the 2028 election, that'd be great as well. But you definitely want it for the midterms because it is very, very important for the Democrats and for many of our adversaries across the world to stop Donald Trump from pursuing his agenda over his last 2 years. And so he's addressing it to say, I think, to Congress, get this ish done. It is this important. Now, what's crazy is I don't know if Trump intended on letting the cat out of the bag on that, because if he would have, when you do let people know what's coming in a matter of 2 days, it gives the media time to shape the narrative. I think the reason that he put it out there is because someone at the White House has allegedly leaked the election investigation information to Slimeback MS Now, formerly known as MSNBC. And the reason for somebody to leak that information, and it's vague information, but it's just letting MS Now know what the announcement's going to be about. It gives them the time, as I said, to frame this picture of, oh, whatever Donald Trump said is whatever he says on Thursday is all going to be conspiracy theory BS. So they're going to try to discredit it before it even gets here, but it will be pretty good. Also, Pete Hegseth announcing a new task force to identify and prosecute leakers. I like that. Throw them in jail. Bottom of the hour. More show coming up right after this. What do you think this song's about?
I think he's singing about his land that he's proud of.
Mein Land. Mein Land. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I've never looked it up.
Mein Land.
I don't even know what Mein Land means in
Mein-
German.
Probably my land.
Mylanta?
No, my land. I don't think there's a word for land in German.
Oh. Well, obviously there is. Land.
Well, yes, but it's English.
English.
Yes.
It's English. So Pete Hegseth announced this new task force to not only identify leakers, but to prosecute them. This is long past due, by the way. It says that, this is according to The Hill, Pete Hegseth announced Monday that the Pentagon and the DOJ have created a joint task force to identify and prosecute leakers as part of the department's efforts to clamp down on disclosure of sensitive information. Hegseth says the Defense Department's Office of General Counsel, the OGC, will be able to request and receive all information, support, and records across the Pentagon regarding news media leak investigations. The defense secretary said all of the department's components and personnel will prioritize these requests and that any taskings issued by the OGC under the authority have to receive a full and complete response within 2 days of the request being submitted. Quote, leaked information risks lives. These new tools and processes will greatly assist us in protecting our joint force. The security of our nation cannot be a bargaining chip for those who seek momentary headlines. That's what he said on X. Access to confidential and secret information is a sacred trust, and those who betray that trust will be met with the full force of the law. I like it. I like it. Because it's a crime. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a crime. And people will make the argument, the media is going to make the argument of, well, we have the First Amendment and we have the freedom of the press and we should be able to report these things. Not if they're illegally obtained. I mean, it's not like the media members that receive this are being prosecuted, although if you or I were to receive classified information, we would probably be charged in kind of like receiving stolen property type of deal. But the media is not going to be prosecuted in this deal. Now, the media may be asked, hey, who's your source? Where'd you get this from? But again, a crime's been committed. Just because you work in Washington, D.C., or you work for the Department of War, or you work within the White House, does not exclude you from the law and the consequences of breaking the law. Are you okay in there, John Bird? You can talk. Your mic's been on the whole time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I push off and roll back to get to my backpack to see if I had some paperwork.
Oh, I got you.
And then I have to kind of scooch to come forward, and it gets stuck on the little plastic
Well,
thing.
we all heard the rattle of that chair, and I was just making sure you was okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to turn on my.
Sometimes, listen, it happens every so often, and sometimes I'll just let it go until it starts to get really loud over there, and then I have to bring it up.
Yeah, it's tough remembering to, I'll respond to something and cut it off.
Yeah.
Respond to that, and sometimes I don't.
Well, and most of it is because of my ADD or my ADHD. Mm-hmm. I don't have like a severe case of it, but I think I got a touch of it, and so it gets me where I can't, like, I forget what I'm talking about because I'm thinking about what you're doing over there. Does that make sense?
What's that?
Yeah, just like that. This is how it works.
No, never mind. I think I'm hallucinating.
Speaking of doing things you're not supposed to do just because you work within the government or you're a politician, Ro Khanna. Have y'all seen this guy? Ro Khanna, Democrat out of California. He videoed himself going to Gaza for a photo op and claims that in his pursuit of doing this, he was detained by violent settlers and IDF. That's right. He was detained by the Israelis and essentially painted a picture of he got roughed up by these people. You know, they treated him, and I think I even saw a clip of him saying that they stopped him because he was brown. He's like, they looked at me as I was brown, and then that I was a brown congressman, and then I was a brown American citizen last. And it was like, what is this dude talking about? But let me read this for you. So, Ro Khanna is once again being exposed as a serial fabricator after his team, who accompanied him to released a video of the West Bank incident that flatly contradicts his dramatic claims of being detained by armed settlers and the IDF. So, essentially, on the front end, he tried to sneak into a closed military zone in the West Bank for an anti-Israel photo op without proper coordination. If you are a representative of the U.S. and you want to go over to the West Bank and get a photo op, you know, I guess you can do it, but you got to let the IDF forces know so you don't get shot. You know, you just can't come and go as you please without giving anybody a heads up. So the IDF, they came out, they disputed Ro Khanna's characterization of the incident, saying that the troops responded after receiving reports that Israeli civilians were blocking foreign visitors' vehicles and that soldiers dispersed those civilians. The IDF has also said Ro Khanna's visit had not been coordinated with Israeli authorities. He then ran to the cameras, claiming violent settlers with American-made M4s and IDF soldiers detained him and other Americans, blocked their vehicle, laughed at them, and showed, quote, arrogance of power.
Oh.
He demanded prosecutions and used the episode to push his usual America Last narrative against Israel. Now, the video his own side released tells a different story. The footage simply does not support the narrative he sold to the media. The executive director of Breaking the Silence, which her name is her or his name, I don't know if it's male or female, Nadav Wyman, accompanied Ro Khanna that day, released a video on X stating, "The IDF is lying about the detention of Representative Khanna. I was on the ground with him that day, and my body camera captured us being detained by both settlers and Israeli soldiers. The IDF did not disperse the violent settlers. As they claim, they explicitly sided with them. As you can see in the video, the soldiers themselves blocked the road. I walked over to the soldier and told them that the police had instructed them to remove the settlers and that a member of Congress was present. They refused to help, and there is more." So in the video, the local security is heard saying they are waiting for police to arrive and tell them how to proceed. There's no detention that can be seen in matching the breathless claims that Ro Khanna had been peddling on national TV. No dramatic holding at gunpoint, no clear evidence of the prolonged threatening blockade that he described. There's nothing in this video that they released, by the way. They released it themselves, and when you watch it, you're kind of like, what are you talking about? Did you just make all this stuff up? So they went over there looking for just that, and that's what they got. It's typical Democrat, Congressman, Democrat, or Congresswoman, let's say congressional Democrat tactics. It's the same thing they do outside of ICE facilities, or when they very rarely go to the border. It's all about show. They do it to make a spectacle, and they create a scene that is not the reality of what's going on there every single time, because they have no evidence to back up their claims. So they have to create evidence. Plus, it's probably dangerous to be down there. I mean, if I lived in that area, the West Bank settlers, if I was living in that area and random people were walking through, I'd be on high alert as well. It's not the safest place to be. I mean, constantly bombs flying and everything else. I'm just saying. I'd probably block them in two and say, hey, you ain't You ain't coming in my neighborhood, cuz I don't know who you are. And nobody gave us a heads up that anybody was coming. But that's going on there. Ro Khanna with egg on his face. As far as Iran goes, as we were talking about and Trump was talking about there in the Oval Office, CENTCOM released unclassified footage of the latest wave of attacks against Iran, where the U.S. military struck 2 tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Nice video. I enjoyed it. CENTCOM says they completed the latest wave of strikes against Iran at 10:15 p.m. Eastern last night. They said during the 5-hour mission, U.S. forces successfully struck military targets across Iran, including a long list of locations, to further degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping. CENTCOM forces employed precision munitions against Iranian coastal defense systems, missile and drone sites, and maritime capabilities. More than 50,000 U.S. service members are currently deployed across the Middle East. American forces remain vigilant, lethal, and ready. They also announced that U.S. forces will resume its naval blockade against Iran, which I believe, I thought that was starting yesterday, but apparently that's starting today at 3 p.m. So a little over 2 hours, and the blockade is back on. They said at the commander-in-chief's direction, CENTCOM forces will resume blockading maritime traffic entering and exiting Iranian ports on July 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern. CENTCOM forces will enforce the blockade against vessels transiting to or from Iranian ports and coastal areas. The U.S. military continues to support traffic flow through regional waters for all vessels not violating the blockade. The resumption of the U.S. blockade against Iran follows the initial implementation from April 13th to June 18th. CENTCOM forces redirected more than 140 compliant vessels, disabled 9 non-compliant ships, and allowed over 50 commercial vessels supporting humanitarian aid to pass through the blockade during the 2-month period. All mariners are advised to monitor Notice to Mariners broadcast and contact U.S. naval forces on bridge-to-bridge Channel 16 when operating in the Gulf of Oman and the Strait of Hormuz approaches. Additional information will be provided to commercial maritimers or mariners through a formal notice. That's interesting to see how that works, but essentially what they're saying is we're going back to exactly the way it was, which was putting Iran in a very precarious situation where you have boats or shipping cargo ships coming in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, and everybody's allowed except for Iranian ships. And if anything goes in and is going to end up at a port, an Iranian port, it is going to be for humanitarian aid only, if you're lucky enough to get that. So as this is happening, and I'm just trying to lay out the scene here so everybody understands what's going on. People just kind of breeze through this stuff, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're still at war. What is happening in real time right now is the blockade is back on. Iran will no longer be able to sell oil to the markets through the Strait of Hormuz, through the Gulf of Oman. And on top of that, everybody else will be able to go on with business as usual. Simultaneously, we are continuing to hit targets along the coast of Iran to keep them from shooting commercial vessels. So we're going to be in the area. If the vessels that transit that strait now have no reason to be concerned about going in and out because it is going to be secure. Secure. So we should be good. And I expect you will see gas prices falling further as that happens. So let's do it. Plus, it creates a incentive for people to come get their oil from us as well. So let's do it. Let's be the world's gas station, baby. 205-545-9950. Your phone calls and much more coming up. With the lead up of this announcement coming up on Thursday from the president, it'll be Thursday night. Anna Paulina Luna, who has been laser focused on the Save America Act, Congresswoman out of Florida, excuse me. She has called on Mike Johnson at this point to attach the Save America Act to all appropriations bills, every single one of them. Pass it in the House and then dare John Thune to strip it out. If you put it on every one, then John Thune is going to be forced to face the Save America Act multiple times, and he will have to make the decision to single-handedly strip it out if they want to pass the appropriations bills. She called on Johnson to use the MIRV process, a military acronym for Multiple Impact Reentry Vehicles, to pass the SAVE Act and send it to the Senate. Under an MIRV, legislation is passed individually before being combined into one legislative vehicle without a vote on the final package before being sent to the Senate. So the way this works is once the rule passes the structure, this process, once the rule passes to structure this process, each provision is then voted on individually, passing with different coalitions of votes, and all members understand that the bills will be combined without a vote at the end. The vote on the final passage, to the extent that it exists, is a vote for or against the rule. So she's dared the worthless, what I view as anti-Trump Majority Leader John Thune to strip out the SAVE Act when the legislation gets to the U.S. Senate. And I say do that. I say do it. Force him to take it out and explain to the American people why he did that. Pro-Lift Garage Doors. Can I tell you about my buddy Mike Miller real quick? Pro-Lift Garage Doors. Man, I love me some Pro-Lift. I love what Mike and his team do. Lots of you guys have reached out to him, and I appreciate y'all doing that, because every time you hit up one of our guys, that's showing support for the show, and it's how me and JB get on here and talk about diarrhea every day. If it weren't for y'all, we wouldn't be able to do that. We'd be sitting at home by ourselves talking about diarrhea. And nobody wants us to do that, do you? We want to be with you. So reach out to them. There's a lot of things when it comes to garage doors that could be done. You could replace the motor, the garage door opener. They've got new ones that are almost silent. You could maybe want to change the look of the doors. You need to change some panels. You got some damage. Maybe you've got an Asian wife and she ran into the garage door and messed it up. Maybe you want to insulate them so it's a little cooler in the summer, a little warmer in the winter. A lot of options. But call him up. Let him know I sent you. 205-346-8465. That number again, 205-346-8465, and online, proliftdoors.com. That's proliftdoors.com. Coming up next, hour number 4.